Welcome back.
everybody. We are back again, more consistent as we always like.
Movie talking time.
Movie talking time. We are ready to talk all things animation and get
Yes.
some behind the scenes. We do have our special guest with us, which we'll
We might
bring
get
on here
animated today.
shortly. Oh yeah, it's going to be great. And so we are excited about that. And but to start things off, as we normally like to do, Gary, what'd you watch over the weekend?
Okay, so trying to think. One day last week, the wife and I watched Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Hmm.
She had never seen it before.
Oh.
We'll talk about that later. Little preview for next time.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, we are rewatching Friday Night Lights, Megan and
Oh.
I, and so that is pretty much taking over all of our viewing opportunities at night these days. So
Oh, of course.
watching the stories of Coach Taylor and the Dillon Panthers.
There you go. Yeah. So cool.
How
Cool.
about you?
Yeah. So over the weekend for me, I was looking for something to watch with the girls, and I saw that Disney Plus added the Peanuts movie.
Oh,
So
did
we
it?
watched that, which I thought was good leading into this episode.
Mm,
And I thought the animation stuff was really cool. It's a cute little movie. The girls
mm.
kept the girls entertained, kept them laughing. And then Katie and I started rewatching Psych because
Oh,
we like to laugh.
hmm
So did that. Yeah.
great show, great show. I think that's on deck for Megan and I after Friday Night Lights.
Good. That should be
It's
on
been
deck for everybody.
it's been way too long since we watched Psych. I went upstairs yesterday and Megan and Lainey were watching Homeward Bound. Um, and I was like, I don't know if Lainey's emotionally ready for this movie. And
Yeah.
and I heard yelling from upstairs later,
Hmm.
yelling in celebration how that movie ends. Lainey
Hmm.
was ecstatic at how that movie ended. She was very relieved. So yeah, they were
Yeah.
watching that yesterday.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Well, you got to start them sometime to start learning the tough things of life, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yes.
Cool. Cool. Well, I guess we will go on here with our day, and we will go ahead. And our special guest, as you saw, is a storyboard artist, and she did a little something for us. Check
Oh, look
out
at
this that
that.
she sent for us,
There we are.
and there we are doing our thing.
That's me
And
with the hat. Oh, okay.
there
So that is
we are.
actually how, if I grew my hair out, I would actually look exactly like that. So how'd you know?
That's perfect. Yeah. So
Do like
there's
that.
yeah, she's good like that. So there's Katya Bowser, storyboard artist.
Welcome.
Hi, hello.
So glad to have you here with us. And as Gary and I have joked before, hey, look, we're actually going to have a professional on our show, not
Hmm.
just us guys who just
Yeah.
like things and say stuff.
Yeah, Denzel likes to think he's a professional, but not quite. Just kidding.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah,
Right.
welcome to the show. Thanks for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
yeah. So glad to have you here. Here we go. We got Book TV's back. Says, "Sup guys? How's it going?
What's up, Book?
How's it going, JB?
Mhm.
He's a man." So just saying hello there. So here we are. Here's Katya, and then yes, we have a professional. Yes, it may be a little bit cheating because she is my sister. No, we are not adopted or anything like that. We are 100% actual blood. It's just this
Right
is
on.
just what happens when Puerto Ricans have kids. You never know what it's gonna look like. We're kind of the mutts, so
Yep.
Oh, yeah, sure.
yeah. I know how many times, Katya, have you had to explain that we are actually related?
I'm my whole life basically. It's always like,
Really? Oh man.
yeah, it's like I was like, oh, my brother, this is my brother. Like, what? I was like, I'll show you pictures. That's me. I'm little. We're together in a family, and that's my mama, and she looks
Uh-huh.
brown too. And my daddy sometimes is brown, sometimes is white. I don't know, but then it's like, and
It's
then
like Carol, a giant family portrait, just to prove. It's like,
pretty much,
I don't know.
keep
It's funny.
like actual pictures and like here's my cousin, we're not dating, just my cousin, everybody is brown but me, thank you organization. So there you go.
Yeah.
I did the exact opposite growing up. I grew up hoping and just really hoping that my brother was adopted. you know, but, but I was like, Dad, are you sure? He's like, no, he's the real deal. I was, all right, dang it.
All
Sorry,
right.
Scott, if you're watching, I'm sorry.
Hey, honesty. That's what we're about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He deserves
There you
it.
go. So Nala
Hey,
says,
Nala.
"Hi guys.
What's up?
Hey, Nally.
Hello.
Wanted to say hello, make a presence known."
Mhm.
So
Nice.
yeah. So thank you, Katya, for being here. And I know
Yeah. Thanks.
I know your time window is short because she has important meetings and stuff.
Oh
Like
yes,
Gary and I,
professional, like we said. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. She's got to
Yeah.
do real stuff.
Yeah.
I have a job.
Yeah, he has a real.
I do
job.
have to ask before we get into the tough questions. You kind of answered a little bit, but I just gotta know, what was it like growing up with Ephraim?
Uh, well, he's super hyper all the time.
Oh,
I think that's probably a given if you know him.
Mhm.
He bothered me a lot. We're always hitting each other.
Mhm.
We're always trying to one up each other and make fun of each other. But he was also like, I always thought he was the coolest thing. So like, I want to do everything that he did. So,
nice.
but like, okay, he was cruel because I would be like, can I play like your Batman toys with you? Whatever.
Oh,
Like, oh yeah, you can play. How about you be the camera woman?
Nice.
Sit there like this and record for me while I play with all the Batman toys. So I would,
That is hilarious.
I'm a child, 4 years younger. I'm like, okay, I get to play my big brother. And he's just like doing his thing. And I'm like, I'm recording. Cool. So
got you ready for the future. Look at that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, at least it was like the camera operator, not like the boom mic holder or something.
Yeah, I know, right?
At least you had an important job.
Yeah,
that's cool.
but
yeah. At least she was able to start practicing good cinematography.
I guess.
There you go.
I can only claim that now because of where you ended up. If you didn't end up where you are, I'm just a jerk.
Not my fault.
You would always eat my toys. He had he had 2 T-Rexes. The first T-Rex was not supposed to eat toys. Only stomp. It had the stomping on it from Jurassic Park, but he cut a hole in the mouth and cut a hole in the stomach and would shove my little Lion King toys in there, and they'd get stuck and he couldn't pull them out. And then a few years later, they created the toy he manufactured himself with the hole in the mouth and the belly, and then my toys continued to go through dinosaur digestion.
Yes.
They had a dinosaur like that? I did not know that. That sounds amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Cutting edge.
Yes, I do. I have it in my office, actually. I have both of those in my office. Yeah. So there were a lot of Barbies and Polly Pockets that went into the pit of doom.
Ephraim's dinosaur ate my Barbie again.
Pretty much.
He was hungry.
That's hilarious. Life finds a way, okay? Life finds a way. That's fun.
But there was a lot of love. That's what I love.
Yeah, a lot of love. There you go. Hi, Tita Katya, which that was from Selah.
Hey,
so here you go, Katya.
Oh, that's my buddy, Gabby.
Oh, hey, Gabby.
Yeah. I like it. Ignore my username. It's unfortunate I have a name I can't change. So, and then, of course, the wife wants, he does the same things to the kids still.
So he's having just now is the same as what he was when he was a child. It's just there you go.
But hey, there were plenty of times though. Oh, go ahead, Gary. My bad.
Well, I was just saying Carter hasn't noticed yet, but I stole one of his T-Rex toys and put it next to the Jurassic Park car on my movie shelf. And,
good.
He hasn't noticed yet.
Yeah.
We'll see how long it takes. But it just fits. It's right there, It's like Jurassic Park car. Boom.
You do what you gotta do for the collectibles, my man.
Oops. Absolutely. Oh, indeed. Dang it. Oh.
Yeah. But like my sister was saying, there's still plenty of love. There's still plenty of Friday nights eating stuffed crust pizza, playing video games, and all that as well. Although I do remember, I do joke with people. I do tell them because people ask that too, like, "Oh, as a sibling, how was that like?" And I say similar stuff. But the one thing I add is like, yeah, and our fights were very interesting because, like, of course, I would just try to get in close and punch her or like wrestle to the ground. But Katya, she knew that she could kick very well, so that's how she kept me away. That's how she kept me at a distance, so I couldn't grapple her. She just started kicking, and it was.
Hey, go with what works, right?
Yeah.
And that's what happens when your dad teaches you karate.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we're excited to have you on with us and excited to hear about your career and kind of transitioning to that. Why don't you, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about your, we call it your opening scene. How did you get into being a storyboarder, animator? What led you into animation?
Yeah. So I've always loved to draw my whole life since I was little. And you can see like little home videos of me like 1 or 2 years old drawing circles and like falling asleep. I just couldn't I was just drawing all the time that I would just like pass out while drawing. Drew all over like everything. I'd always use up all the paper, in the house, just drawing all the stuff. And I always liked it. But like never really considered it as a career till high school. It was just like this cool hobby. Like, oh yeah, I like doing this. But I also like played piano and I kind of liked math for a little bit. Now I don't. But like all these
good choice.
I danced for like 5 seconds. Then just no one ever told me that art was a job, so I just never considered it. And it wasn't until I think it was after my 10th grade, like the summer after 10th grade, I went to one of those like CIY Christian Youth, back when it was called CIY. And that week at CIY, I just kind of like decided. So I guess in case anyone's watching doesn't know what CIY is, it's like a week of camp at a college for youth groups, churches, high school age kids. So we did that every year at our church. And that week I decided I was just gonna like bring my notebook and like draw something every day to kind of keep as a memory. And then during that week, the speaker for the week, he just kind of like randomly got on a soapbox. Like it was unplanned. He came in for like a lunch talk or something. He was like, I don't know why, but I just have to get up and say something right now. So he like brought out like a literal box and like stood on it and was like, just kind of went off on this rant on how like if you have creative abilities, you need to be using it. Like God is telling you to do something with that. And I was just like, what? Like something like struck right in there, And it felt like I was being told that, hey, you like to draw and you should do something with that. And it was just like, like I'd never considered that before. And it feels like I really need to be an artist. Like that's what I'm called to do. So after that, I went home and like talked to my parents about it and immediately started searching. Like I was thinking like, oh, what is it that I like to do? And I was like, well, I really like watching movies all the time. I like this, like that. I never grew out of cartoons ever. Everyone was like, watching Friends and stuff. I'm like, I still like watching SpongeBob. Like, it was always
Avatar.
And all the good stuff.
Yes.
So it just kind of like came all together that animation is what I actually really like. Started researching schools and stuff, and parents helped me kind of pick where I wanted to go, and so I ended up applying and going to Ringling College of Art and Design in Sarasota, Florida. So went there, and I thought I was gonna be an animator because that was the thing. And he was like, "Oh, I'm just gonna draw and do animation stuff." But there, I kind of learned that I didn't really like animating so much, but I did like storytelling, and that was kind of really at the heart of what I wanted to do. Because I used to like draw comics and stuff and make up my own worlds and things all the time. And I kind of figured out that storyboarding was kind of just visualizing stories and kind of really being like the backbone. I was like, storyboarding is what I'm going to do. Came out here, to California, to try to find work. Worked for like a tiny little bit at Disney Tunes, but it was only like a couple weeks, and they used to do like all the direct-to-video stuff.
Okay.
While I was there, they did like the Tinkerbell fairy movies. So I worked on that for like 2 weeks. It was like real short. That was basically like, here, have a job so we can leave us alone. And then after that, it was about 5 years of trying to still find work. So out here I got married and all this. So my husband came out with me, Seth. So we were here, living the struggle. I freelanced a lot, doing like random illustration things, doing like random storyboards for stuff here and there. A lot of hard work, a lot of downs, definitely a lot of downs, a lot of like, oh, is this even what I'm supposed to do with my life? Everything's confusing and everything sucks. And then all of those eventually led to me freelancing for Nickelodeon on the show Shimmer and Shine, which then led.
Oh, really?
Which
My daughter
then,
loves that.
yeah. After that, when they had an open position on the show, they brought me in, and I've been working since then. Where that was about 2017. Sorry, I hear my daughter crying. Okay, sorry. So yeah, 2017, I started working on Shimmer and Shine as a storyboard revisionist first. And then from there, I moved to Wild Canary Animation, where I started working on The Rocketeer, on Disney Junior. And then I've been there. I moved up from revisionist to storyboard artist, and I'm still at Wild Canary. I've worked on a few of their shows, and currently working on Mira, the World Detective.
Nice.
So there you go.
Very cool.
Very
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with Shimmer and Shine. My daughter Laney, big fan. She's a big fan of your work. And we watched The Rocketeer quite a bit too. She likes that a lot.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's such a cool story about CIY. That was the week you decided that I'm going to take this. I'm going to draw while I'm here, and then you hear, God speak to you like that. That's really cool. And the fact that you're able to take something you're passionate about, like drawing, and turning it into a career. That's really cool. Not many people get to do that, but I respect that. Very cool. How did you talk a little bit about the struggles of am I supposed to be doing this, or do I need to keep doing this? How do you get through those, like the struggles of the day in, day out, being an animator and living life at the same time? How do you get through the struggles of that?
A lot of different things were a part of it. Definitely, my faith helped a lot with that. Because I just felt that was something that I had to hold on to for me. Because it was like I knew that this was something that I was like called to do, which is, I feel like normally we think of like callings in the Christian world, it's like, oh, you're gonna go be a missionary. But like for me, it was just like I really felt like this is what I was meant to do, even though it's not super like whatever, it's art. I just kind of feel like this is just kind of like my makeup and how it was made. So kind of clinging to that, like that I wouldn't have been brought through all of this if it wasn't for a purpose. And I think, we kind of looked a lot to God through like the small trials too, like, whether or not we can make rent this month. And every time we thought we were going to pack up and go home, go back to Florida and, live that good life in my parents' house, we felt like God stopped us, honestly. Something would happen. Like there were times where literally an envelope full of money appeared on our doorstep, and we're just like, what the heck is this? We had no idea where it came from. And so like, I mean, that's like, the most like radical way that it happened. Whenever there's another time, we wanted to pack up and move because I had just had Melody and was like, I can't handle all this, it's all too much. And we had friends kind of offer to let us stay with them for a little bit while we kind of got back up on our feet. So there was always a way for us to stay, but there was never a way for us to leave. And it just kind of like everything was just, there's kind of too many hints saying, stick it out, like you really need to stay here and do this because it's gonna work out, or like it's it's what you're going to do, or like it doesn't have to be like this whole like world changing thing, but it's just kind of like this is where we just continually felt like we were. I mean, not even just me being an artist, but us being here in LA, like in this area too. It just felt like no matter how hard we even tried to leave and do something easier, it wasn't even possible for us to do that. So it's just we felt like God was making it pretty clear to us by the way He led us through life circumstances and through our like prayers and stuff. So yeah, that was a big part of it, just kind of relying on God through it. And I think also friends and community. I think that's something that we discovered a lot out here, which I kind of feel like is another reason why God brought us here, because we kind of struggled a lot with that back home in Florida, but out here we found more of like people that are more like us and like the things that we like. We kind of found like our little niche of people, and that kind of helped having friends support definitely helped get us through a lot of things.
Yeah, having a community around you, that's such a difference maker. I know thinking about, my wife and I, and throughout our marriage, there's definitely been times where we haven't had that, and we could definitely tell a difference. But I like how you said that, uh, you're doing what you're supposed to do because God continues to provide, and that's such a powerful feeling, because we all have doubts no matter what we do, but when you hear that, you have those questions and you're just ready to, move back home or whatever, and God's like didn't provide a way to go back home, but He provided a way for you to stay. That's a powerful testimony. That's really cool. Thanks for sharing that. I needed that.
It is one of those things where it's like, being on this side of it, it's like, there's plenty of times where I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, Katya, just come home. Come on. Or we're just like you already lived, like, because they had to live with us for a little while. I don't remember how long it was, but lived with us for a little while. And I'm like, just come back and live with us if you don't want to go back to Jacksonville. Like, come on. Like, just like, just come home. Like, forget. Why are you starving for no reason? We'll take care of you, So like, I understand that. But then even hearing some of the stuff you just said, I mean, that it's kind of hard to ignore that.
Yeah. And, my parents are definitely like that too. They were like, everybody was like, just come be with us, come take a break and try again. And it was like, we want to, but there's all these things, even moving, like even quitting costs money. And that was a struggle. It's like, I don't even have enough money to quit right now. So it was a lot of things. But it was also good. I mean, having that family support too, knowing that if things fell apart, I could go back to my family. That's good too, because not a lot of people have that. So that's definitely something to be thankful for.
Yeah, for sure. What is your you talked about a few of the projects you worked on. What's the favorite project you've worked on so far? And what's your favorite thing to draw, or like what's your favorite, something you've drawn in the past that.
Let's see. I every project has been, ups and downs and good in their own way. I really enjoyed my time on the Rocketeer, because it was kind of like a lot of good things all at once. Like, it was a fun show. It's also a really great crew, which is like really important working out here. Like, it's not just what you work on, but the people you work with. And I made like a lot of great friends on that show. But I've made a lot of great friends on every show. But this was just kind of like all of them in one spot. So I really enjoyed that. And favorite thing to draw, couple things maybe. So like the things I like, I guess, character moments, and if that makes sense, kind of like seeing characters go through like maybe like an emotional like revelation or something, but something where you like really get inside the head of a character, and it's just kind of like I get to draw like, maybe like subtle acting or just something like really nice and sweet, and it's just like, oh man, I really feel for that character right now. It's kind of like a little bit of the emotional sappy stuff, but just being able to convey emotion through a character, something I really like to do. And then I like to do really silly, funny stuff as well, like just something just to make somebody laugh. That's fun too.
Like your Mushu stories.
Yeah.
The dog, or the dog was based on Mushu.
Yeah,
Mushu and Poppy, right? Is that the two was based on?
Yeah.
Yeah, their relationship. So our old dog and our dad and their relationship, because my dad, of course, doesn't like animals and didn't really care for Mushu, but he tried to act like he didn't like him, but we all knew the truth. So, so seeing some of that drawn out was pretty hilarious.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I got Mushu. Well, no, I don't have it. I got Mushu.
No, you got that Mushu. Yes.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. It's cool how, like, I always try to, whenever I'm watching, my wife makes fun of me a lot, but whenever we're watching something, I'll always try to pick up on the emotion of characters. But it's cool that you said that with animation as well. It's not just like, I'll be like, did you realize like why they said this or that face they made during this part? And it's like you said that you can see that through the art and stuff. That's pretty cool. Emotion, context of everything is really cool.
Yeah, a lot of that, like as in animation, like we have to deliberately make those choices. Like as actors, you kind of like embody the character, and like what happens through your body happens through your body. But like
Mm-hmm.
on our side, like we have to take those cues that actors do and translate it to drawings. Like we have to like actively choose for all of our characters to show on their face, you know, the range of the emotions and things. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow.
So on
What?
so on that note,
Sorry.
sorry, Gary, real quick. On that note,
Yeah.
like, so what is it like when you have to draw emotion? Like, do you like I'm just thinking like when people act in Broadway, they're told to like completely like overreact, so that way it'll
Mm-hmm.
translate from the stage to the audience, like what you're doing. Like, do you have to do that kind of stuff when you try to animate emotion, or like what? How do you go about that?
I think it depends on the style of what you're working on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like if you're working on like, you know, a TV show with really exaggerated, like, you know, like humor, like SpongeBob or something. I don't know if I can't speak for those people, but if you're working on something that has really like exaggerated kind of stuff, then yeah, you would do that. But if you're working on something like, you know, like Pixar movies, they're really subtle in how in their animation as well. So like you wouldn't have, you know, a really big, you know, SpongeBob type face or Looney
Uh-huh.
Tunes kind of like, you know, slapping around in a Pixar movie, because their style is a little bit more subtle. Like they, you know, focus on kind of the little things that a person does instead of like going all crazy. So it just really depends on the kind of style that you want to achieve for your movie or your show, or, you know, a studio can have a certain style of doing things too.
Gotcha. Cool.
Very cool. Very cool. What advice would you give someone wanting to go into the same field as you, wanted to have the, you know, aspiring to be where you are?
Yeah, well, the first thing I think would be like draw, like just keep drawing all the time. I mean, not like all the time, but just keep learning and keep drawing. Um, you know, try to pick up stuff, like learn. There's a lot of resources online to help you learn too. Like the internet really has changed the educational field, especially for animation. So there's so much you can learn just by following people on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. Like a lot of people put out tutorials and stuff, and there's so many like online classes and stuff. So definitely take lots of opportunities to just kind of absorb as much as you can, and just kind of just keep doing it, keep practicing it, because that's the only way you can like get better at it. You know, it's just by actually doing it. So even if you feel like you're just starting out with doing storyboards and stuff, like, you know, don't consider yourself like an aspiring storyboard artist. Like you are a storyboard artist because you're actually doing it. And just the more you do it, the more you get used to it, the more you'll get better at it. So just, I think this the biggest thing is just like keep doing it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Just don't stop practicing.
Don't stop practicing. Yeah. I feel like animation, I mean, you probably speak to this more than me, obviously, but I feel like, my kids are watching Disney Plus right now, and they're watching a Mickey Mouse Christmas movie from 2004. And even you can tell animation has evolved so much, and it continues to do so. Compare that to something like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. It's just animation continues to evolve, and I think that's why to continue to people want to aspire to keep practicing and stuff, to keep evolving with it. I guess that's pretty cool.
Keep doing it and keep doing what you like to do too. Don't do stuff that you think will get you a job at Disney or will get you a job at some other place. Like do what you like to do, because I think especially now when there's so many people, like it's so accessible and there's so many people who want to do this. What really kind of helps you stand out is just your own unique voice. So if you're doing what you want to do, like you'll be a happier person because you're not trying to live up to someone else's standards. But also just helps inform your creativity and just you as an artist a lot better too. If you just do the things that you like, and then people will see like, hey, you're good at this thing. And you're like, yeah, because I like that thing. And then they notice that, and then like, well, we want to come hire you to do the thing that you like to do. So.
Yeah. And I like that you guys brought that up, because it made me think of, and Katya knows this, the story our dad used to always tell us, that like he would always like to draw things and draw it weird. with like exaggerated features and stuff like that, like
Mm.
people, animals, and all that. And everyone would always tell him, "Those are ugly. Don't do that. Those are hideous. Stop drawing that way. That's not the right way to draw things." And then when we were kids, we were watching Hey Arnold, Cat Dog,
Mm-hmm.
Rocker's Modern
Mm-hmm.
Life, and my dad's like,
Yeah.
"Those are the cartoons I used to draw. I could have been famous. I could have started this, but no, I met everybody else tell me that this is ugly. Now look at it. That's what y'all are watching. That's
Yeah.
what's on TV."
So your
So
dad deserves partial credit for Rocker's Modern Life. That's awesome.
yes,
I love that
yeah,
show growing up.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So it's just like, oh man. So I just thought it was cool. It's like keep drawing what you like and keep working on your
Mhm.
style because you never know what could come of it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I draw a
Yeah.
really good stick figure. Um,
There you go.
so trying to get better at it,
Yeah.
no, I cannot draw anything. I've even messed up stick figures in the past.
Yeah.
Um, so how is it being a Christian in the animated world? You said you live in LA, right?
Hmm.
So
LA
kind
area.
of LA area, yeah. So pretty, secular place, obviously. In the middle of Hollywood. How is it being in this this field, and then with your faith and everything?
Um, I mean, it's not like super difficult. I think sometimes people have a perception of like, oh, California and Hollywood, Satan's armpit or something. But it's like people are just people. Um,
Hmm.
and like in the animation world, everyone's super nice and like super chill and cool. So like
That's good.
I'm a Christian and I don't hide it, and everyone was just kind of like cool with that. And my friends are like, okay, fine. And then like I'm cool with whatever they are. They're cool with what I am, and we just kind of continue and hang out and just be ourselves.
Hmm.
So there isn't a lot of like pushback or something like, oh,
Hmm.
no, you're Christian, so we can't be friends or anything. Like it's not like that. It's just everyone's like,
Okay.
oh, that's how you live your life and that's how I live mine, and but we can still be friends. So it's like it's pretty chill. Um, and like yeah, there's still like strong like churches and stuff out here. So it's not like
That's good.
completely desolate or anything. There's plenty of people here. Um, like we like the church that we go to and the people we met there. And so yeah, I mean like there's not like I don't have a lot of Christian friends in animation, but I have a few and it's
Hmm.
nice. And
Hmm.
I don't know, I guess it's not like a super big contested thing. It's just kind of,
Hmm.
yeah, like we'll come up against things where like we do things differently, but that it's just kind of like cool, like it's
Yeah.
fun. So
Hmm.
That's good. I'm glad you said it
Cool.
was, it's against the perception of it all being out there, because there definitely is. I get at least 3 times a day. I get people on my Facebook send me like stuff about Hollywood and stuff like that, through
Oh
my
yeah.
Facebook Messenger, and I'm just like, oh, leave me alone.
Yeah.
It's just like, and it's one of those like mass, and it gives me peace that you said it's kind of a perception, and everybody's chill. Everybody's kind of, people do their own things.
I think I'm
Oh
sure
yeah.
you get like extremes on all kinds of sides.
Hmm.
Hollywood, I guess in general, it's a very spiritual place in the sense that everybody is spiritually attached to something.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So it's just, I think in that sense, it's not super weird if you like believe in God or if you believe in like, any other kind of spiritual practice, because everybody kind of finds something to hold on to out here. So it's not like,
Hmm.
I guess it's not a super weird concept for you to have some sort of affiliation to something.
Right.
But there's a vast variety of what that something is.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I just feel like, there's so many people out there who would have like a misconception or a perception of a place, and maybe not do something, or maybe hold back because they don't want to, be a part of that. And it gives me, peace hearing, that you didn't let that stop you.
Yeah.
You're living life out there. You're living out your faith in your career and in your life, and you're not letting the perception of a place like Hollywood keep you from doing that. So
Yeah.
very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
That is cool. I know we so
Yeah.
at this time, if anyone who's watching have any questions or anything for Katya, um, feel free to put in the chat and we can bring it up. First of all, Miss Kim Owens says love y'all.
Hey,
So
Kim.
good seeing you. Good seeing you there, Kim. And then this one comes up, and it doesn't surprise me at all that it comes up. Here's Katie. When does your episode of Puppy Dog Pals come out?
You worked on
Okay,
Puppy Dog Pals? What?
I did
yeah,
one episode of Puppy Dog Pals in between shows because I was bouncing around.
Really?
I don't know.
okay.
I mean, on the internet, like Google episode list or something.
Yeah,
You can see this one was Story Worthy by Katya. I guess
yeah.
I don't know.
I know. It's just like I knew it would happen because every time the girls are watching Puppy Dog Pals or they watch like anything on Disney Junior, Katie's always like, well, I wonder when her puppy dog pal. I'm like, hey, I don't know. Look it up.
Somewhere in season 3. I don't know. I don't know the schedule.
Yeah, you just do what you're told and you move on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. When I finished Rocketeer, they had me do like work on Puppy Dog Pals for a little bit just to kind of keep me at the studio.
Mhm.
So that happens when you work at a studio. Sometimes they'll shuffle you around different projects to kind of keep you around in hopes to hang on to you for another show. So I did Puppy Dog Pals for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like literally just one episode.
Yeah. Yeah. So if anybody else watching, drop a comment in the chat and we can bring it up and you can ask her there. And maybe while you wait a little bit, I know you said like jumping between projects and stuff got you. Like I know you kind of told me, but maybe just kind of tell Gary and everybody else too. Like what's it like the job security aspect of it or lack thereof or whatever because of how they hire animators and through shows and stuff.
Yeah. So you work on a per season basis. So I'm only hired for a season of a show whenever I'm hired onto something. And that can be, a year's worth of work, or it can be like just under, like maybe like 9 months or so. It depends on your profession too. I feel like storyboards kind of stick around for a long time because it's just a lot of work to be done. So I feel like so far it's been about, I work for a year and then I move on to a new show. So in general, like you want to start looking for work like a couple months before your end date. Because, if they like you at the studio, like, then they'll try, you can ask at the studio, like, hey, is there anything else going to come up that I could hop onto? Or if not, then you're out there applying, contacting recruiters and stuff. So there is like a bit of pretty much every year looking for a new job, just about. If you happen to work on a show that's like highly successful and is pretty much like guaranteed seasons all the time, you can, and you're comfortable staying on that show all the time, you can like do hiatuses. So like from season to season, there's usually like a break. It might be like a month break or something, maybe 2 months break where you just don't work for a couple months. I mean, you're not getting paid, but hey, there's another job at the end of that month. So a lot of people like go and take vacations or stuff during that time, or just kind of relax and chill, and then they start again. So a lot of that requires you to save money, so that you can have that month or so of expenses covered. Or if you don't want to take out, have a hiatus, then you do your best to try to find another job. It's like nothing is ever guaranteed, so that it can be a bit stressful because you never know, like at the end of a season, if you're getting picked up for another season or if you're going to be able to land a job somewhere else. There is a lot of that up and down worry, like, oh, am I going to get something? But it typically works out. So far, I've been okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that would stress me out. If it was like, all right, you're a youth minister for the summer. Good luck finding something for the fall. It's be like, that'd be a little stressful.
Yeah.
And stuff that helps out with that is definitely like, we have an animation union. So that's where we get all of our health benefits through. So, a lot of people get their health benefits like through their job or something. And once you lose a job, you lose everything you have. But if we do it through the union, like even if we have a break, as long as we've worked so many hours, then, we can still retain that, our insurance things from like, no matter how many times we've bounced around, as long as we're still working on like union shows. So that helps a lot too with stuff.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Good deal.
So If any of you guys had any questions or anything, like I
Yeah.
said, just put them down there. Um, if you can think of something, I don't know. Katya has said a lot, so she might have answered a lot of questions.
Sorry.
But no,
What was your
hey,
favorite cartoon growing up? You mentioned SpongeBob and a couple other things. What was your favorite one?
I used to really like Rugrats, like a lot.
mm,
Oh,
Uh,
Rugrats is great.
classic.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I like the Powerpuff Girls. I watched too much,
Mm,
so it's like any season of my life, I had a different favorite.
yeah,
Um,
Powerpuff Girls was legit though. That show was hilarious.
Yeah,
that was good.
really good.
Yeah, yeah. We were the both of us. We were those kids in high school still watching cartoons while everyone was just like, we're like, whatever. These are awesome. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being in middle school, like literally, like, I think I mentioned before, like Friends, like everyone was like, "Oh, Chandler, he's my favorite," and I'm just like, "Those are shows with
Count,
people in them. Like, I don't do that.
count,
so those are old
Chandler's
people
my
shows.
favorite.
What are you talking about? We're 12."
yeah,
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 I love Friends.
yeah. Gary's that weirdo. It's fine. There's a lot of
Man,
them. At least he's not alone.
I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My
So,
favorite cartoon growing up was Doug. I loved Doug.
That was a good one.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Doug was good. Yeah. I'm with Katya. It's like I watched so many. It just changed from, okay, my favorite show just ended. Okay, now what's the next show that's on that I happen to like? Oh, that show ended. What's the next one? Like, so it cycled. It cycled a lot. Obviously, Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
That'll probably always be top dog there.
Good
But
stuff.
yeah. So so one thing we wanted to get into here before we let Katya go is just to talk about our top 5 animated movies.
Mm.
And this is just top 5 for us, for us of all time, I guess. And I know Katya, she was like honorable mentions. No wait, now this I can't make up my mind. So I struck the first 5 you gave me, and you can do all your list of honorable mentions, and that's totally fine. But just throwing this up here, we can just talk through it. Katya, you can talk through your choices and stuff. But here's the first one. Here's
Oh,
Katya's top 5 animated movies. So Katya, how about you explain to us maybe a thought process for these 5? Did we lose you?
Wait, here I am.
no. Hey.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know. Woo! Now I'm muted. Done. There we go. Okay.
Okay. Technical difficulties.
Sorry, I don't know. Maybe set this like touching the internet box out there or something. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are
Okay.
my favorites.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I said, because I saw that you put there, you couldn't hear. So what I said, maybe you just want to talk through your top 5, maybe why these are your top 5, and just let everybody know what
yeah.
here they are. So talk through it.
Little Mermaid, because that just kind of formed my life. I don't know. I think it came out the year I was born. So I didn't see it till it was like on VHS. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like that was my life basically as a child and forever. And still, I like telling I have a whole bunch of Little Mermaid things here. It's just everything about me is I am this Little Mermaid, and I think it's like it's more than just like, oh, I'm a girl that like mermaids, but it was like Ariel, I think, kind of taught me how to be a person because she was like stubborn and she knew what she wanted, and she got into arguments with her daddy, and it was like, well, that's me.
Surprise.
So I am Ariel, and so yeah, but like she also loved her daddy, and I love my daddy. So I just kind of like, I guess I related a lot to the whole relationship there, and the whole Ariel is just gonna do whatever she wants. So
Mm-hmm.
it just became my life. I was obsessed. I still really enjoy it. And then I put Spider-Verse because it was just like amazing. I mean, for one, Spider-Man is like my other obsession. And seeing this movie happen was just like the visuals are insane. The storytelling was really great, but I think just like the visuals were just really they did so much cool stuff, and it was so exciting. And I was like I got really into like when Spider-Verse the comics first came out, and there were like all these different spiders and everything, and so it was like everything I liked all at once at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's like visually one of the most amazing movies ever.
Indeed. So
The Ron, I put that in there because my
yeah.
Muji.
Yeah.
I think that was just another formative like movie for me.
Yeah.
Because like again, I related to Mulan because Mulan had a sick daddy, and I have a sick daddy, and she like wanted to do everything for dad. It's like, oh, I'll take care of you, daddy, and that was very much me when I was little. I was like, Papi, like I'm gonna take care of you for the rest of my life, even though I was like 5 years old. So, and then she was like fighting and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, I know karate. It's like me as a kid, I am Mulan because everything about her life is just like my life. And then it was like really funny, and Mushu was great. Kaya Chance of Meatballs, just the perfect humor in any movie ever, I feel like. Yeah, it just never felt like I found something that was exactly my humor until Cloudy came up. I was like, oh, this is it. This is what I think is funny.
And even then, even just like the visual funny stuff in that movie.
Yeah.
Like not necessarily the dialogue, but just like the way they did stuff. That movie's just hilarious.
Puns, everything, it was all funny. And then I did Inside Out because I think that's when I was talking about how like I really like drawing emotional character moments. This was just, I feel like, really did. I've never seen a movie kind of handle emotions like this in a way and kind of like translate them and talk to them about them. Just it was like, people are like, oh, I cry at all Pixar movies or whatever. Like everything makes me so like, but like this one for real, it was like, but I feel like it speaks to me, and I think it speaks to a lot of people in a different way than just like, oh, this character like, lost everything that they had and now they're sad. But this one was like, no, like it was really getting into the mind of like how people think and like, so I just felt like that one just like really like emotionally struck a chord, and it just haven't seen anything like that before, and I still haven't seen anything like it since. Like of how they just kind of talked and handled emotions, and just feel like I can't forget it. Like it's just there all the time.
Right. Yeah. Cool. All right. Now I'll move on to Sir Gary. We have Gary's top five.
Hello.
Top five animated here. So Gary, go ahead and talk through your movies, my man.
Well, Batman: Mask of the Phantasm is just one of my all-time favorite movies. Obsessed with all things Batman. If you've watched the show, you know that by now. Love that movie. Into the Spider-Verse, one of the coolest movies I've ever seen. I remember the day Efren came into the office after seeing that, and I've never heard someone talk so greatly about a movie. And me and the kids watch it often. Big Hero 6, also one of the coolest movies I've ever seen. Love this movie. I'm kicking myself for forgetting to put it on my top of the decade a few months ago. So I had to have it on here. That movie is very sentimental to me because it was one that Lainey watched all the time, and we used to live in Charleston, and we would travel, and that was the one Lainey watched in the car over and over again. And so just love Big Hero 6. And Aladdin, just something I grew up with. Robin Williams, love this movie. And Toy Story 3. I'm a big fan of that franchise. And Toy Story 3 is it's a masterpiece of a movie, in my opinion. So it should have been the last Toy Story, in my opinion. So just leave it at
that. I'm with you. It should have been a trilogy, and that's it. But I'm not dissing the fourth one. I like the fourth one. I just like the third one ending. Yeah.
I like 4P a lot.
Yes. But, yeah. So I guess time for me to possibly be a little bit of a weirdo here, but also not a weirdo at the same time. So here are my top five. As you notice, Spider-Man has made into all of our top fives because that movie is just freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like animation, everything. It's just even the story itself, and a story I was excited for but a little scared of because introducing so many Spider-Verse stuff, and I was just like, I don't know if this is gonna work, but they did a great job. So I was excited. Of course, Toy Story. I just think of like as a fifth grader, and yes, I'm old. As a fifth grader, this movie, it's coming out. I saw the trailer, and I'm like, this looks like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And then I remember we get out of school like on a Friday. The Friday it comes out, we go and we watch it, and I was obsessed with this movie ever since. And I remember like for Christmas, I was like, I need to have this movie. I got to have it. So I completely love it. Of course, Lion King is on there. It was just another one. Like, cause I'm just thinking like the movies that just stuck with me. And as a kid, we saw this in the theater like twice. And then we spent probably 2 weeks trying to find it on VHS because it sold out everywhere. The second someone got a shipment, it was gone. But totally obsessed with that. Titan AE. I don't even know if people have even heard of this movie.
I remember that movie. Yeah. Wow.
We got that.
What's that?
We got that on VHS. It was like I feel like for us, Treasure Planet was the knockoff of Titan AE or something like
Yes, exactly.
that.
Yes. Titan AE came first, and I got it on DVD back here, like behind me. Like I love this movie. I watch it all the time. It was just like the animated movie that had a little bit more grit, I guess, and a little bit more adult stuff. But I thought like all the space stuff just looked awesome, and I love it, and I watch it. I try to watch as much as I can. Can't wait to show the girls that one. But yes, Treasure Planet was the knockoff of Titan AE, not the other way around. And then of course Lego Batman. I love the Lego movie, but Lego Batman to me, and Gary can get mad at me, and I'm totally fine with that. But to me, it's probably the best Batman movie ever made. Like I just love Lego Batman. I love like it's like kind of what people had said about Into the Spider-Verse. You can do so much more with animation than you could with live action. Like even like digging into like characters and like their ups and downs, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I felt like with this one, it did a good job of showing him as Bruce Wayne, as Batman, but then also just showing him in his like the struggle of like trying to let people in and letting people help him because he couldn't carry the weight of losing people that he loved. And I was like, wow, Lego Batman, way to get a little deep there. Then of course it's also hilarious.
Oh, it's absolutely hilarious.
And this animation style is awesome because like when Lego Movie came out, obviously they started it, but like I was really like, is this stop motion? Like how do they do this? Like it's just so with mine, like I just kind of see it as you know, Lion King was like this, like they've done that kind of animation before, but it was like this new breakthrough in 2D animation. Toy Story 3 was this new breakthrough in computer graphics. Spider-Man was a breakthrough. Titan AE was just fun and really beautiful and just different enough. You know, same with Lego. It's like, here's another little breakthrough. So those were mine. So Katya, what do you think as the pro, as the one who studied, what do you think of mine and Gary's top 5? What are your thoughts?
I don't remember what Gary's were now. I forgot.
Oh, no, yeah. So there's Gary's.
Okay. I haven't seen that Batman.
Ooh,
yes,
really?
you have, Katya. You saw it with me and Xander. You probably just don't remember.
I don't remember it.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot of things. Yeah, they're all good movies. I mean, Big Hero 6 is not my favorite. But that's not a professional opinion. That's just it's not my favorite.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Like they're all good movies. They're all good because they touched you in some way, and like they speak to you, you know. And that's what one good thing I like about animation is that they're done in a way that it speaks to everybody. At least for animated movies, you know. Like it really the rating for general audiences, where like it really is like they are trying to make something that both like adults and kids can enjoy all together. So there's an element of, you know, some deeper adult themes, but also like layered with stuff that kids can get to. So it's something that it's meant to bring everybody together in a way. So yeah. And with your stuff, Danny Refren.
Oh, with mine. Yeah, there's mine.
Oh yeah. I'm kind of surprised you also don't have Aladdin though, because I thought like you were all about Aladdin.
I do love Aladdin, but I don't know. It just for me, it was like Titan AE. Because I was just trying to think of like the movies that I know just completely stuck with me and were the ones that are like, I have to have this movie, you know? And it was like, I love Aladdin and I love the video games and all that kind of stuff, but I don't remember being like, I have to have this movie. Maybe because you loved it too. And it was like, we're going to get it, so it doesn't matter. I don't know. But I just know with these 5, like after I saw them in theaters, I was like, I have to own this movie. If I don't own this movie, I might die.
The Lion King game, so that was fun.
Oh yeah, Lion King game is very fun. The Game Gear version's a little easier than the Sega Genesis version. I will say that.
Yeah.
I was in the draft head.
Yeah. So you guys got to see mine and Gary's. Here's a reminder for everyone watching. Here's Katya's top 5. Here's what she puts out there. So Little Mermaid, Spider-Man, Mulan, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Inside Out, and those are her top 5. And you know, there's mine again, which we talked about enough. So let's move on to Gary. So there's Gary's again. So
we had honorable mentions. Lion King and Lego Batman would be on mine.
There you go. Got to your honorable mentions was a list. What were yours?
Well, now I completely forgot about Lego movies. I would add the first one there because that one was amazing, and I really like that. And I really like Surfs Up, because that's just like really funny, and like no one paid attention to it when it came out.
Yeah.
Really
Surf's
fun
Up so good.
to watch it. What else did I tell you? Oh, the SpongeBob movie.
Yeah, the SpongeBob movie. And
Goofy.
you said Monsters Inc. too.
Oh, Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
Monsters Inc.
That's another good one. Yeah.
Really good. And
Which
Nemo, Finding Nemo.
Yeah, Finding Nemo.
That's
Yeah.
really good.
I will say I love Monsters Inc. too. I love Monsters Inc. a lot, but you know that one was good. And then yeah, SpongeBob movie. Remember that one too. Yeah, no, for me, like I'm probably with both of y'all. It's like when you try to think of honorable mentions, you're just kind of like, okay, the list is way too long because
there's just so many good ones.
Yeah, there's just so many good ones. So even trying to bring it down to 5 was a little hard.
Yeah, because there's different like moods, and there's different categories, and there's like, well, this is what I liked when I was a kid, so I kind of have to say that's my favorite. But also like all new movies too. So there's just too much. I can't pick on.
Yeah, there's too much, and I like that you even pointed out. It's like, especially with animated movies, they can reach such a broad audience that different people can get different things out of the stuff, you know. Like, because I remember, because I know you're saying like, you know, Big Hero 6 is necessarily your favorite, but you know, but you can see why people like it. It's like that's how I kind of feel about like Inside Out. It was like, it wasn't necessarily my favorite, you know, movie or Pixar movie, but I can see why a lot of people like it, and you know, so it's easy to see those kind of things. It's like a lot less arguing, you know. Like if you bring up Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, or just something else, like I don't know if it's a live action thing, but people seem to argue a lot more with this, and have their very strong opinions. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to animation, people are like, "Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I like it." You know, just maybe just the different feels, I guess, that they give.
Well, I guess adults aren't usually as passionate about it, so you're just kind of like, yeah, that's fine.
That's true too.
That's a cartoon. My kid loved it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my kids loved it. Listen here, animation or not, that movie's fire. That's all I got to say. Spider-Man. I just want to throw that. Titan AE. Absolutely. I want to throw my list back out there.
Spider-Man should be best picture.
What's that?
Spider-Man was like best picture quality. Like everybody knows that's a good movie.
Yeah.
Because they made it kind of service.
So. Yeah. It's a great movie in general, people, not just animation.
Yeah, it really is. It's a phenomenal movie.
Yeah. I can't wait for the second one.
Yeah.
I cannot wait. So, Katya, what does the future look like for you? You think?
Future, well, I want to keep working. I hope to move up a little bit. Sure, like I want to get into like directing. That'd be nice, and also I really want to make my own show. So I have been involved in pitching show ideas. Seeing if anything lands, but also just kind of learning about the process and seeing like what people are looking for and stuff. So yeah, I want to keep creating and be a part of creating and stay in it.
Cool. That's awesome. Well, thank you, Katya, for being here with us today and taking the time to be here with us. Thanks for telling us your story and sharing your top 5 animated movies. Thanks so much for being here, and thank you guys for watching. And and so Katya, we can say bye because I know you have meetings. I don't want to keep you here too long.
So, nice to meet you on YouTube.
Yeah, Fosky. I'm sure there will be some more Fall Guy playing later because the girls are obsessed.
They need to get better at it.
Yes, they do.
They spend all the time just watching you play.
Yeah, I know. So, all right. So we'll talk to you later, Katya. Thanks for being here.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Yeah. So as we wrap up the show, thank you guys again for being here with us, with Gary and I. And Gary, you want to tell them the announcement for what's coming up in the next few weeks?
Yes. So beginning next Monday, we have spared no expense to go into our next series of videos. We are going to be doing a deep dive of every single Jurassic Park movie.
Yes. And when he says every single, yes, that also includes Jurassic Park 3.
It does. It does. It's part of it. We gotta watch it.
Got to talk about it.
So yeah. So I'm excited about that. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I can't wait for it. When you said, hey, let's do this, I'm like, yes, this sounds great. I can't wait. So this sounds very exciting. Can't wait to be a part of that. Don't forget, everyone, to subscribe. Hit that little button. Maybe there's a little button in the corner if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, head on over to YouTube. Click the link.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
Help us out. Help get our content out even more. And share with all your friends. Turn on the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. And because like we always say, we got great plans. And they just keep rolling out. So thank you for being a part of it. We will see you guys next time.
Goodbye.